Hello and welcome
Hello.
of Night Talks as we give you a young perspective. Oh God, I almost gave the wrong introduction.
Yeah, Kal, it's been very laggy lately on your side, but it's fine. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fifth episode of Night Talks. And what do we have in store for them today, hi, Kal?
But before that, first of all, we're wearing our
Mm-hmm.
normal hoodies. We're back to the normal hoodies,
Yes, we
and
are.
yes, we are. So, last week I was really interested with one particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching Formula One, Baku, amazing race, and one thing that I was really interested in,
Okay,
engineering, man,
I
engineering.
see. Mm-hmm.
And
Just
today we
imagine.
Yes, today we have brought a very wise and noble engineer coming all the way from Saudi Arabia, living with the
Let's
camels and all.
go. Oh my goodness.
Joke attended. So, without further ado, let's bring Hadi Osman into the stream. Okay.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody.
Hello.
Hello,
Welcome.
Aikmal. Hello,
Welcome.
Shakil.
Hello. Yeah,
Hello,
it's a pleasure
hello.
to have you here,
Thanking
Mr.
you
Hadi.
for having me.
It is our pleasure as
Yes.
well.
It is a very big pleasure for you to come here on this show. So, how are you doing, Mr. Hadi? How are you doing over
Mm-hmm.
there in Saudi Arabia?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, Saudi Arabia is fine. Malaysia, how's Malaysia anyway?
Malaysia,
Malaysia.
Alhamdulillah, is also doing fine. Well, if you look back, you put aside all the COVID cases. Other than that, we're doing fine as well.
Look,
Yes.
looking into you sitting inside the rooms, having this discussion, everybody happy with a
Mm-hmm.
smiling face on Haikal and Shakil. So I know Malaysia is going well. We're gonna winning, inshallah. Sooner or later,
Inshallah.
we will
Inshallah.
fight together, inshallah.
We will fight together, hopefully, to lower down the COVID 19 cases. But,
Yes.
anyways, today we're bringing Mr. Hadi here to share his experience on engineering. As you all
Mm-hmm.
know, if you guys don't know, both me and Shakil are engineers. Well, not literally
Well,
engineers, but
not
we're studying
yet.
engineering. Not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah, taking diploma, Cal, but yeah, that's the
Okay.
dream, is it? To become engineers.
Yes, we are soon to be engineers, you can say. So
Mm-hmm.
we're bringing Mr. Hadi to tell his experience, his wisdom, and his knowledge in the world of engineering because we're really curious. What is it like to become an engineer
Yes,
during
we
this
are.
time and age, especially during the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, without further ado, let's start in with the first question of today, which is now. I think this is a very obvious question for you, Mr. Hadi, when somebody asks you about being an engineer. So, I would like to ask you, what does it take to become an engineer?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
When you heard about the engineer, so what's supposed to mean engineer? So maybe one of you thinking about engine or something about the mechanical. So no, previously back to the history when I became an engineer from during my secondary school. So I just want to be an engineer. I remember when the question coming from my teacher, what you gonna be later on. So I want to become an engineer. So just that. So I know that an engineer will create something. So engineer will solve something. So engineer will do something that we are helping everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
when I remember when I finish when I entering technic school, so there are a lot of field of engineering. So we have electrical, we have electronics, we have mechanical. Man, I don't know what field I want to be, but I know that I want to become engineer. I want to make something. I want to make something good. Then I choose electronics engineer. So starting from that, I continue my study on the electronics engineering bachelor degree in electronics engineering. And then recently, 2018, finished my master in industrial engineering. And then now ongoing PhD in engineering. So my journey still on. So what does it take to be an engineer? So what's supposed to be engineer? So some people asking, what's
Mm-hmm.
different between engineer, technician, and now we have technologies. So we have professional technologies. What is the difference? So what does it take to be an engineer? So for me, an engineer is somebody that can is a problem solver. Is a person that can combine his critical thinking to identify he or she able to identify a problem. So meaning that you must know that there is a problem in front of you. It's not that you
Mhm.
have a problem, you have a fire. Example, you have a fire in front of you, you just passing by, you do nothing. So the engineer is you notice and fire, and can you stop there. So but it's not just that. So you notice you identify the problem. So what's next? So you will come out with a solution. So what need to be done to solve that problem? So as back to the example, you have fire in front of you. So you can take water, you can take a sand, you can call
Fire department.
fire department,
Fire
everything.
department. Mhm.
So you have numbers of solution. So what is the best solution at that moment? So what this is what I call it, this make you engineer. So you will come out with a solution. So you will choose what is the best during that moment. So you have the water. So you throw water, then at the same time you call a fire department. So that's as engineer. So means that an engineer is a thing that for me, from my past experience until now, is the one that made solving a thing into his main objective of the day. So means that you need to
Definitely,
identify,
definitely.
you can prevent thing that happen after you solve that thing. So you need to come up with the preventive method to avoid that thing happen again. So,
Mhm.
in the short summary, what does it take to be an engineer is somebody that can identify a problem, can come up with a solution, and which is the best solution at that moment. So you need to be out of the box sometimes.
Yes.
So I think that's engineer. It's combination. It's a combination of
It's a combination.
you will come up with the your science skill, your mathematical. Sometimes you need to understand very well. If you make it a big solution, just imagine that big. So how much water that you want to throw to
Mm.
to what to remove the fire. So that's the thing that make you an engineer.
You know what? To add on about your point, Mr. Hadi, because I was reading a book about engineering, and that is definitely true. Engineers are the critical thinkers, the practical workers in this world. You know, they try to solve many, many awesome things, and I'm really surprised that there's so many fields of engineering. Right? There's not just only mechanical or biomechanical or um, automotive. There's so many, and I think recently, just I think the first time I've met you, I was really surprised that you were actually in the defense industry, which was
That's
mind
crazy,
blowing,
Carl. Because
crazy.
we
Yeah.
didn't thought we didn't thought of having like apa? What's it called? I forgot the word. Oh my goodness. Never mind.
Like,
Like a field in there, you know. Well, it
yeah.
is it is possible, but I didn't think of having a engineering career in the field of defense until we met Mr. Hadi and he told us about it, and it
Yes.
was so amazing. So like all of these engineering careers, since taking this engineering diploma for me and Haikal, it's not just one thing. It's like very vast, You can be anything you want when you take this course as well. So
You should move on to the second question, Shaq. I think this is a
mhm.
very good question. You want to say it?
All right, sure. Let me take out the question. So, Mr. Hadi, for your second question, what are the realities does an engineer face?
This is a very hard question. It's a golden question that, you know what? It's a subjective question. So every
Mhm.
engineer will face a different challenge. Just imagine we have electrical engineer, power engineer. We have communication engineer. We have robotic. You have a defense engineer. You have ballistic engineer. You have
So
A lot
much.
of them.
There's so
So
much.
much.
If you Google it nowadays, I remember during that time when I came in, jump into a different industry. So I talked to you guys previously. So the different industry is something that I also like you guys. I never imagined that I in this industry, but until I in this industry, I know that this different industry is very close market. So the reality comparing with the during your study is I not say a different things, but is you are facing a real stuff. You just imagine on your studies when you have a task, you have an assignment, you just make a project, you do on paper, you make a very nice presentation, and then your viewer, your lecturer like it, and then the lecturer give a mark, give marking, then you got A on that presentation. Okay, in the real situation on the industry, in the engineering field, you just imagine you have a project, then you face with the dollar and cents, you face with the time schedule and everything. Whatever you make a wrong decision, you will waste a lot of money, a lot of time, money,
Definitely.
everything.
That
So
is true. That is
That is
true.
you
true.
have a lot of pressure coming from on looking to you. So so the reality is, when you go for the to the engineering field, real engineering fields, you have this kind of challenge. You
Mhm.
will customer will say that, oh, you prepared such a nice presentation, such a nice design or solution, but then you never know, the customer may be thinking of something else. So customer may be looking into somebody project, so that already inside his mind. So when you present, they dislike it. So what you gonna do
Mhm.
after that? So is same thing. When you have your company give you numbers of fund. So all these things will make you you will pressure you will, but it's not stopping you from moving forward. This is make you
Hmm.
become very what they call it,
Critical, like more critical.
Mhm.
critical. You need to be critical thinker, out of box of come up with an out of box solution or something. So this pressure make you become knowledgeable, experience day by day.
That is
So
true.
so the reality is like that. So you just imagine if you study mechanical, you do the welding thing. So you just have one project. So you welding this metal A to metal B. But in the real life, you have numbers of metal, number of section you need to be welding.
Mhm.
So whenever you make a wrong welding, then man, you will cost you maybe 1 million, maybe one
Oh
billion.
Oh
my
You never
my
god.
know.
goodness.
So
Oh
Okay.
god, that's
that is
so
a
you know
thing that you need to understand very well.
consider.
But that's the best part of it. You will experience by yourself, and that make you an experienced engineer later on.
Trial
Mm-hmm.
and error, right?
Yeah,
Trial
not try and
error.
error. Yeah, it's
Oh, you
something.
know trial error.
No, you
Shark,
never try and
you're gonna
error.
lose so many money, Shark.
Yes,
Well,
you
that's a
need.
big cost.
Do we call it manageable risk? Something
Mhm.
okay, calculated
Yes.
risk, calculated try
Calculated
and error.
risk.
So you need to come up. Okay, we have option one, two, B. You don't say to the customer, "Oh, well, sir, we have this try and error thing." No, no.
It's gonna
So
dissatisfy him. Yeah.
yes, you need to come up with the, sir, like this. We have this option one, option two, option three, and option Z or something. So
Mhm.
we're gonna do
Mm-hmm.
this solution one first. Then we come up with a result. Then we come up with the justification. So then we decide to stay with solution A, or we need to change to the solution B. So is
I
we need
see.
to play with the words that when you say try and error means that you just no you're not doing any engineering calculation, engineering you're not using any engineering tools that
Mhm.
gonna make your solution engineering what they call it, engineering of coming from the engineering solution. If you just try and error, you just no, everybody can do the try and error.
True.
True. Have you ever, like, when you start jumping into this industry, into this engineering industry, did you ever, like, one day wake up like, you know what, I'm gonna jump into the defense industry. That's my preferred profession.
Well, man, I used to become to be as a reserve military during my study.
Whoa.
So I'm used to, for the machine gun, weapon, ammunition, everything. But then during my study, I stopped there. But my passion on that weapons bring me, I believe, with a God willing. So I came to this different industry. Then you know what, 2 years I'm have a job training in South Africa. I'm trained on the weapon system integration, so dealing with the weapon from the small weapon you just machine gun to the big weapon,
Whoa.
Wait,
missile,
so machine gun is called a
mortar.
small weapon, all right?
What?
Yeah,
Really? Yo.
man, it's machine gun. It's a small weapon. You need to
Well,
see the big gun. You just imagine the small weapon is only 5.56 millimeter. Is
just
a
small bullets,
mini
very small
shotgun.
bullets.
But if you call it big caliber, you go up to 120 mm mortar missile. So that we call it
Wow.
big gun, big caliber. So I handling all these thing from 2011 until last year. So
So you
set
have
with
seen it all. You have seen
yes.
all the types of bullets
This
they use.
Yes,
is
Oh my
my
gosh.
I
god.
can. No, I
Always fun.
think the real army. I mean the land force, the
Mm-hmm.
Malaysian army have a lot of things that maybe they're hiding something from me. But from the project that we involved, so I believe I'm seeing and watching and dealing with them. So I'm happy that we come to this position that we have the program. We call it local transfer of technology. So
Mm-hmm.
we transfer the technology from South Africa for the weapon. We have the platform of vehicle configuration system
Mm.
engineering from Turkey and communication from France. So we have numbers of engineer in this job training that bring together to Malaysia so that we can design our own defense product.
See, I
Wow.
see.
This actually brings us to our third and final question before you,
Mm-hmm.
the
So
audience, will
finally
ask any
already.
question.
I thought we still start. We just start.
I know time flies when we're having fun, man. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I have numbers of things that I want to share. Oh, okay.
Oh,
but
we'll
it's
see.
okay. You'll get to see all that during the Q&A session.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, let's move on to the third and final question before we move on to the Q&A session.
All right.
So this is a very, I think everybody wants to hear this question. If you see down here, he's smiling
Of
already.
course, I see every one of you and future engineers. You guys
Okay.
must have thought of this at some point in
Yes,
your
it's not,
engineering
yeah, and
lives.
then point. Like, when are we going to use calculus? When are we going to use
Ah,
material science? So tell us,
Oh, Mr.
what
Hadi
all
has
these things do
spoken.
oh
we?
man. Okay. So the
So the
question
question is,
is,
yes, do we apply the things we learned from our diploma and degree?
ha, ha, very hard question. Okay. If I telling you the answer now, then what gonna be from you guys? You want to stop the study or what?
What?
No,
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 I
no,
mean,
no, no.
just put it in the way that inspires us,
Yeah.
to work
Okay,
more, yeah.
I like the words. You know what? Whatever you in you diploma or degree, you have engineering mathematics, you have calculus, you have. I remember last time I have engineering mathematics up to engineering three, calculus three, advanced calculus. So I
Oof.
wonder,
Wow.
Okay.
I wonder when
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay.
use that thing. So guys, right now, if you are study, just study and excel in every subject, because this is the basic of things that you're gonna use. You just imagine if you say that 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So do you think that now you use that thing? So that thing evolve. So from 1 plus 1
Yeah.
equals to 2 become 2 plus 4 two number of square root something. So that basic thing evolve for you guys. So the thing that you learn during your study is the basic, the platform of your future engineering world. So if you ask me about how many percent, how many thing that you study, you bring to the engineering field, is a very subjective. Well, because in the study, you study engineering in diploma or degree, whatever it is. So the syllabus is designed for you guys to understand the concept of this formula, how this formula derive, what is the basic of this thing. You just if you remember, you have ModMat and AppMat. You have what they call it solution, a direct question and subjective or essay, a question in the essay something. So there is something that you learn now during your degree or diploma is a platform, a basis for you guys to evolve. When you come to the real engineering world, you still will use that basic thing, the formula, but you will not derive because everything is already there. So you can Google it, you can name it. You don't need to remember. So you have the formula, you have the application, you have the software and everything. So what you learn and now how to make that formula, how to derive that formula, how to make the software, how to make that machine working. But in real engineering world, you will use it to solve problem. You will use it. You will use all this formula thing to upgrade thing, to improve thing. So I can say from the, let's say, from 100% of the syllabus that you learn during your diploma or degree, most of the things we come to the engineering field. But yeah, taking into the example, like if you study mechanical engineer, so maybe from 10 to 50%, the basic thing you will gonna move forward to the next phase as an engineer. So if you looking into the numbers, maybe I can give you 50%. But for me, doesn't matter 10 or 50%. That's make you
An
your
engineer.
evolution, your engineer, that you will bring back that thing. Oh, during my study, I learned this thing. Somehow is related, but not that directly. But still, that's the subject, the syllabus that you're gonna use. So no worries, guys. Don't limit your what they call it, your future thinking that why I need to study all the subject because Mr. Hadi say I gonna use only 50%, man.
But I
So
think that 50% is really, very big,
Yeah,
that
that
very
is
is
big.
big. Yeah.
that is
Because
subjective
that
because
yeah,
if
very
you
subjective.
if you don't have that kind of thinking, then man, you will not excel in the every subject. So now, for you guys, for all engineering students, study very well and get the flying color, excel in every semester, then inshallah, you will gonna use it. Small or big is is a thing that you're gonna experience it yourself after you graduate, after you become an engineer.
Yes.
So
Well,
you hear
that's a
it
very
first here, guys. Mr. Hadi told us to
yeah,
keep
listen
on
guys, you gotta
studying.
study. You gotta
Yeah, we
study.
do. So
But
any
still,
thoughts
that's
about or not using or not, just keep them away. Just do your best, and we
Yeah,
also do our best, inshallah.
I'm worried if I say numbers, then you will stop. Mr. Hadi say, oh no. Then some maybe one of you lecturer coming to me. Why Hadi you saying like this?
Oh no.
but guys, by trying to say that the thing that we learn right now is important because it
Yes,
structures the foundation of what
Yes.
yes, yes.
our understanding.
All the
Yeah.
subject designs are relevant for you guys to become engineer later on.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, that's true. Definitely true. All right. So now we're gonna have a 10-minute mini Q&A session. So if you guys have any questions to Mr. Hadi, to talk about. And if you have anything that you're curious about engineering, do tell in the comments below, and we'll pick the best one.
Yeah, guys. So be sure to put in your questions. Starting now, I guess.
Okay. Oh, look at Aris Nabila. Okay, look at this.
All right. So, what are
What
the
is the
job
job?
scope as an advisor in defense industry, Saudi Arabia?
Wow. Okay.
Oh wow, look like somebody is very interested to become
Mhm.
engineer or
Mm,
advisor in different industry. So shall I answer
Yeah.
the question or we will another question or what?
You can answer
well,
the
you wanna
question if you like.
you can answer the question. Yeah.
Okay. To become an advisor in different industry, Saudi Arabia is something that never in my life to think about it, because to become an advisor you need to knowledgeable and know a lot of things of in different industry. So Saudi Arabia similar, if you Google right now Malaysia program Gempita, the same thing, same project that Saudi Arabia want to make. They want to have a local industry that they're making their own defense product. So previously they just buying stuff, so now they want to make local design, local manufacturing, and local engineering scenes. So they call all around the world specialists in this different industry, engineer, procurement, everything, all the things that related to the different industry, so that they can bring the local engineer, local Saudi engineer, local Saudi in their, so that they can making their own defense asset. So the job scope in the different industry as an advisor here. So normally whenever we have a project, so we need to come up with the solution, then we need to train, and we gonna have the local Saudi as our body, that then we can ensure that this local Saudi Arabia person can do their own later on. So means that we
Mm,
do our job similar thing, but we need to make one aim that local Saudi later on in different industry can make their own. So we need to ensure that the technology is transfer, then they can make their own system, everything. So an advisor will be advise thing and do the thing correctly and then improve thing, and then I think that's the job scope of as myself as a system engineering consultant or advisor. So from the beginning, system engineering is covering from the beginning of the project until the commissioning, until or delivery to the customer. So I'm involved with from the requirement from the beginning until to the end. So I need to know everything. So we'll involve with everybody. So we need to bring out all the experience that we have before, and then let the young generation, the young engineer, young person, local Saudi Arabia person, citizen, to know very well how this thing works. Then we will advise them what's next to be done, so that they can do their own later on.
hmm.
I
I see.
see.
I see.
That is
Very,
interesting to
very.
know. Yeah.
That's very interesting. You know, talking about defense industry, one of the things that I've always wanted to be in is to be an F1 engineer. That's for sure.
Oh, Gal, let's go. Okay.
You know,
Elaborate.
I mean, oh yeah. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to list
Mm-hmm.
them down. I'm just gonna just tell my experience because I've been really into F1 ever since last year, and my
Ah,
God, and like
okay.
hearing Mr. Hadi's explanation about engineering and the realities, I can see it's so relatable in the F1 world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Building fast cars is not as easy as you think.
Oh, dude, you
Yes.
gotta. It starts from a piece of. No, wait. It starts from an imagination to make a fast car and just.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
process then, tada, you have a physical car that goes above 300 kilometers per hour. How do you do that? How do you think of doing that? It's crazy.
yeah, it's
But
crazy.
everything start with imagination, guys. So
Yeah.
Yes,
without
everything starts with an
imagination, you
imagination.
cannot have that passion. You cannot, without the imagination, without the passion, you will go, what we call it, nowhere. So you need to have that imagination and passion, that every challenge, every stop that you gonna face, you will go beyond.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true. Just take a look at Elon Musk. He wants to go to Mars, guys. Do you think one day he will reach Mars? Like by
I think we might buy a house there, Shaq.
we should, we should be one of the
Yeah.
engineers who work for him in building a new population on Mars. But
Why you want to become engineer under him? You need to become the next Elon Musk. Find another
well,
planet. Why you choose Mars? Maybe you have another planet. Maybe.
find
You
other
know what?
planet.
No. Let's not talk about Mars. Let's go to the moon. We should make houses
Yeah,
in the
the
moon.
moon.
Man.
Yes, Elon Musk is the real Iron Man.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Just like
Actually,
he
he's
thinks
like the
so
villainous
far.
side of Iron Man, if you want to say about it.
Well, at least he uses his powers and his money for good. The guy is a billionaire. He can do anything he wants. Crazy. Also, if
Definitely.
anyone has any more questions to ask Mr. Hadi, please put them down if you would like, so he can
Yep,
answer them.
we have 4 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But overall, it's a very interesting discussion how you navigate us through engineering.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still, I can't say that all my words coming from this session is the real stuff for the engineer. So talking about the engineer from my own experience. So maybe if you
Oh,
talk to others engineer, they have their different
Mm-hmm.
perception, different point of view of engineering. So don't just take my words as a inspiration or I need to follow Mr. Hadi. So it's just the points that you need to take for you to move forward. So
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
yeah. Oh, we have another question there.
Yes,
Yes,
we
we have another
do.
question. This is a really interesting one. Thank you, Aisha Rehana.
Ah,
This is a very
Yeah,
good
thank you for
question.
the question.
huh. How
How
COVID?
COVID has affect engineer work and how can we act proactive
Uh,
to it?
I thought that last session you have the talk about this COVID thing, right?
Oh yeah, we did. You just talked about a
Okay,
bit here and there.
okay. How COVID affect engineer? So with the working from home and everything, so it's depend. If your engineering is more on the hands-on, you need to stay with the hands-on thing. You need to go into the hand job and everything. But if your engineering work is not involving with the hands-on, you can do in front of PC. So I think this is the best time for you guys to just stay at home, work from home, and do everything. But it's a subjective for me. I remember last year, last no, when we will have a first MCO in Malaysia, no, in is before Ramadan, then is a blessing with me. That moment we have the work from home. I have this interview from this Saudi Arabia company. So,
Mhm.
so this the thing that uh, the COVID thing, yes, if an engineer, but it's depend on your how you face it. So to act proactive on it, so you need to enjoy, you need to see into the what need to be done, or what I can say is find something that not making you just staying in front of the PC. So an engineer, as we thought on the beginning, so we need to out of box, we need to critical thinking. So if you think that your passion is just doing in front of PC, then you will go nowhere. So you need to come up with the
That is
thing that
true.
you need to fulfill your time, so everything. So the COVID, yes, affect the engineer work, but that's why whenever you call, you hear about the MCO, you have the essential service. You know, you you heard about the construction still going on, something, the engineering, what they call it, manufacturing need to be continued. So there is a thing that cannot be work from home. So this service, this engineering need to be continue. So there is essential or critical thing that cannot be work without a person on it. So they need a person, they need an engineer still to make that happen. So
Mhm.
maybe a few a few engineer can just happy work from home, but maybe a few of them very uneasy to stay just at home, and then they eager to go to office or go to factory to do their job. So to act proactive still is depend on what the field that you are in. So if you are good just in front of PC, then you are good. If you facing with your real your what they call it, your your current job is doing the machine, working with machine, then man, seriously, you will get boring just in front of PC and do nothing.
That
So
is true.
That is true. That is true. Well, we have one more question. Should we answer
Yeah.
the It's from Army?
Yes, we should. So we have
Okay,
time for one
maybe
more question, is it?
yeah, just one
Yeah.
more question. Just try to before
All
we
right.
wrap up.
So
I think this
yeah,
is a very interesting one. In what
huh.
and
instances
what
have you
is
just
it?
and would you have described your leadership
In what
style?
instant have you demonstrated this skill? Okay. Army in
Thank you,
English is
Army.
soldier, soldier.
Yeah,
Maybe you want
So
to become a, maybe he's into the army.
yeah, that's why
Anyways,
I'm
yeah,
thinking of
yeah.
that.
okay, guys, engineer and leadership is very close each other, because in hierarchy of real engineering, you're gonna have a technician, you're gonna have a staff under you. You need to move from engineer to become the senior engineer to become a manager. So of course, when you go to that position, you have a person under you. You will have a junior engineer. You're gonna have a technician under you. So how you want to make a best leader? I always put in mind that I don't want to be a boss. I want to be a leader so that I can bring together, I can work together with my colleague, with my engineer, with my technician, so that they are happy working with me. I don't want they happy working with me on that time, but back from me, they are talking badly about me. So
Mhm.
if you are talking about the how I'm describe my leadership style, I need to ask my underling how they look into me. Okay, but I
Sadly, we
think
don't have
yeah,
any.
but yeah, I
Yeah.
think my leadership what evolved from the when I joined the reserve military. So I have the course I become the lance corporal. So I have numbers of team, and then I joined the company. So I have project. So I work with technician. I work with assembler. I work with same with position with me engineer. I work with manager. So I look into my boss, I look into my management, how they handle things, how they demonstrate their leadership during the meeting and everything. That's make this skill coming to me. So I will what do you call it, taking all this leadership from others, and then I demonstrate to my underling. And if you asking about my leadership style, is something that I would love to working together with the underling. I don't want to bossy. If you um, can what do you call it, maybe you can google it, what's the difference between a boss and leader. So I don't want to just
Yeah.
a bossy, just just what do you call it, showing or asking people to do this, to do that. So I don't like that kind of thing. So my leadership style is doing stuff together. So okay, guys, let's do this thing. So do you know how to do it? So let's do together. So then when they are happy with that, okay, I think you already can do it on your own. So you do this, so I can focus on other thing. So my leadership style is things that I want to show to everybody that I also know that thing. Then I also can do that thing. Then I can guide you guys. I can bring you guys to the top. So you also can do better. You can do as like me or better than me. Then I can bring you guys to the top. So if
Mm.
you are talking a boss just asking you to do thing, then he take credit on everything. So for me, this a thing that we need to differentiate between boss and leader. So I love to look into people around me, how they handle things. So from this surrounding, make you contribute to your leadership skill or describe your
Mm.
leadership style and everything. So maybe my leadership style looks like an army style or soldier style, but sometimes it's work. People
I see.
sometimes
Okay, okay.
look into that, then they can work together. I think that answer the
Ah,
question for Ami. So maybe Haikal have their own leadership style or Shaf their own leadership style. So everybody have their own leadership style. But the points that you need to be tackled is you need to be focused in how to tackle your underling. If you know how
mhm.
to tackle them, then you will walking happy, smiling,
No
nice together.
stress.
So
No
take
stress.
my
Can
words.
do it. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. I think we have come to an end for the
Mm-hmm.
Q&A session. But overall, thank you guys for being very, very
Thank you very much.
participative in
Yeah.
our Q&A session. There was a very these questions were very, very interesting, and we really, really loved it.
It just
So
gives us a new perspective on engineering and
yeah,
having
and
good leadership skills in engineering as well. So yeah, thank
yeah.
you for
Yeah.
asking your questions, and also thank you to Mr. Hadi for answering them. And
Yep.
yeah, so
So thank you guys for watching at
Before
Night
that,
Talks.
before that,
Oh yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
I want to give a words that I'll always keep until I
okay.
have this
Oh,
position
okay.
in
Last
Saudi
words, last
Arabia.
words.
Okay, last word from me. Okay, you guys, don't stop, don't give up, don't give in. There is always an answer for everything. Okay, whenever you have a challenge, you have COVID thing, you have online learning skill, don't stop. Okay, don't let some people saying this you have no future in the engineer, you don't have future later on, all the robotic, all this thing. So don't stop, you guys. So just keep learning, excel in your subject. Inshallah your future will be a sky, you will be open a sky. So just do your job right now, excel in the every subject, then inshallah you will become the future young engineer that gonna bring Malaysia to the position that everybody know.
Wow,
Wise
very,
words from
very,
Mr. Hadi.
very.
We
Yes.
will keep those with us, and also everyone watching at home as well. Keep those with
Yes,
you, whether you're
I
in
Keep
hope
those in
that
mind
engineering
and
or
all of
any
my
apply.
other
answer.
course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before we end, remember for those who are from UIT at Pulau Pinang, do fill in the form below to get your
Mm-hmm.
e-certificates, and also do give us feedback. We would love to hear your feedback on the show.
See what you want more,
Um,
Mike.
yeah, if you guys want more amazing content and you want to improve our content, do fill in the form below because we
Mm-hmm.
really appreciate your comments, your criticism, and well, anything you say to us.
Yeah. I
Okay. So
okay.
without further ado, thank you, Mr. Hadi, and
Thank
Okay,
you
nice
so
thank you,
much,
meeting you
Mr.
Akil.
Hadi.
guys. So hopefully we can have another session. Maybe I love
Inshallah.
Penang Chakutiao.
Can always come over, Mr.
Okay,
Hadi.
Okay,
okay,
no worries. All
guys.
right.
Thanking
Thank you for
you.
watching.
All right. Goodbye,
Goodbye.
guys.
Goodbye.